Hi friends! Today we are going to explore Book Off. This is a secondhand Japanese retail store that I only recently heard of, maybe through a booktube video a few months ago, and one actually opened in my area. I had no idea what to expect going into Book Off. It was an incredibly rainy day. Spring has been really cold here, so taking a little field trip out in the afternoon was such a treat. And as soon as I walked into Book Off, my eyes locked onto the book section.
Look at all the books. Oh my gosh, I just started going.
Fiction, comedy, non-fiction. It was a little mismatched area. There were also a lot of vintage gaming systems and cartridges, which I'm not familiar with. I'm not a gamer myself.
Wait, is this like the first Mario?
There were so many collectibles, Pokemon cards, figurines, collector's editions, tons of DVDs and CDs as well. I was looking for a few movies in particular to add to my collection. I wasn't very successful there, but I did find a few seasons of my favorite TV shows that I've been accumulating as well. This place is just massive. There were just walls upon walls, walls and walls of DVDs of every type, every genre you could imagine. And then I found the Holy Land, the $1 clearance section, which happened to be one of the last sections I actually explored. If you're an OG, you might recognize this book. It was one of the first books I read on my booktube channel like 5 years ago, Awayland. I love some of these quirky covers of indie published books. Just digging through these shelves and pulling out books based on their titles or their spines is amazing. There are also secret drawers that apparently you could open. So this place truly is floor to ceiling. The $1 section was really treating me. I always have to take a peek at the mass market paperback section. I was looking for a specific manga in a series that I started, but I did find the first book in that series, which unfortunately I didn't need, the Tokyo Tarareba Girls, my favorite manga that I've read in recent years. They didn't have any of the other books in the series, but it was great to know that someone in the area has read at least the first one. The figurine section is absolutely massive. Again, you can open up all of these drawers in the bottom, and then they have all of these imported merch items in the most satisfying row upon row upon row of these little tchotchkes, little thin plastic bags that were the most satisfying ASMR sound to me. So let's just listen. Like, you'll just find a swordfish in here. These shelves are so deep, I could barely find the end. They're truly just so random. Here I am absolutely struggling. I can't even begin to describe how much stuff was in this section. Right next door to Book Off was a claw machine store. You could go and buy tokens. It was called Clawsome, and you could go and try and win little plushies. So took a little detour over there to play a few claw games.
I mean, the bones seem.
Right next door to that shop was Paris Baguette, which I had never been into before, and I'm so glad I did, because they ended up having the red bean buns that I used to have when I used to live right outside of Chinatown. So that was such a sweet surprise. This reminded me a lot of the little Chinatown bakeries I used to go to.
Oh my god.
And we're absolutely struggling again.
Why are they attached?
Well, I got some books, and it's really clear I had a wonderful time at Book Off. Life-changing experience. And it's kind of clear based on the I think you can tell what my favorite color is. It's pink. It's pink. I got so many pink books. Yo, I had such a great time. That was exactly what I needed to uplift my mood on like a very cold, rainy week when I really thought we were going into spring and it was a false spring, and then it just turned bitter and cold. It was just a perfect outing, a perfect day. So let's do a little book haul, shall we? I think in total, I did end up getting 2 seasons of one of my favorite shows on DVD. I got this beautiful vinyl because it's pink. I really wanted spring. Clearly, I'm attracted to the same kind of like color schemes consistently throughout my life. It's like sky blue and pink are like my favorite colors. This is so stunning. You open it up. Yeah, the vinyl just kind of pops out. There's no actual sleeve for it. This is kind of dangerous here. This artist's name is Harumi Murako. But yeah, there's like this beautiful poster insert. I think this was maybe like $5. I still need to give this a listen. So hopefully I'll be able to do that today while I'm editing. I think that would be really fun. So yeah, they had vinyl and DVDs and VHSs and collector's things. I'm not an anime collector, which I'm actually very grateful for because I could easily fall down that road. I feel like I am very susceptible to starting new collections and getting really interested in something very quickly. So I'm very grateful that I'm not, because I could easily be spending so much more money and so much more time on collectible figurines. I think it's such a beautiful art form, such a beautiful collection to have. But I'm glad that my mind is mainly towards like books and cool rocks, you know? let's do a little haul, shall we? So this first one immediately grabbed my attention. Like literally I just beelined it, straight, you open the doors, beeline, fiction section's like right there. And it was like the humor section. So there was some nonfiction humor, there's some essays, and this is indeed a book of essays. This is the Between Boyfriends book by Cindy Chupack. This is a collection of cautiously hopeful essays. And if you've been here for a while, you may know that I rewatch Sex and the City every year. I think this is actually gonna be like my 10th year of doing it. Every spring I rewatch Sex and the City. Is my favorite show, hands down. And this woman, Cindy, this author, was a writer on the show Sex and the City. She was a writer and executive producer, and she won an Emmy for it. So this is her collection of essays about dating, modern quote unquote dating. This was published in 2003. It feels like I'm watching a Sex and the City episode. Every single essay, I'm like, oh, there are actual references in here. Like I know for a fact Miranda said one of the lines in here about being dumped and not being told why you were dumped, and kind of like the avoidant personalities of some men in relationships or men who are trying to get out of relationships. It said, in more recent years, a doorman informed me that my date was not coming down. Ever. And that is absolutely something that Miranda says as a line in Sex and the City. So I think that was directly referencing Cindy's life. So her writing is obviously very influential to the whole series, which geeks me out so much. I cannot wait to read this. I think I'm going to be reading this next because it is April now, and April is my birthday month. And again, if you've been here for a while, you might know I love to read my 5-star predictions or books that I really anticipate loving in my birthday month. It's just an extra little way to really sweeten my birthday month. I usually always cry on my birthday. It's always like a very emotional time for me for some reason. So anytime that I can read something that just feels extra me and extra comforting or fun or something to look forward to, I intentionally read it. I think this is what I'm gonna be reading next. It's just her essays, so many essays. There are 35 in here with titles such as Relocationships, The Existential Crisis, about entering your 30s and wondering like if you do want kids or should have kids or when you should have kids, The Man-Me-Downs, Retro Dating, Claustrophobia. Very witty, it's fun. I love this stuff. I love it so much. I'm not even in that realm at all of like casual dating or like any, like I don't relate to this stuff really, but it's just so fun for me to read, like Sex and the City. Like I love it so much. So there's that. Right next to that book was There's No Such Thing as an Easy Job. This is by Tsumura. And this is such a gorgeous edition. This is the whopping $9 book. I don't remember if it actually was for the full $9 or maybe they had a little sale going on, but it doesn't even look like the spine's been broken. So this is like fantastic condition, big floppy buttery paperback, which I love. This is translated by Polly Barton. Dolly Parton? Moonlighting, maybe? This is about a woman who doesn't really want to work. She's on a quest to find like the perfect job. She just wants to find something that requires very little thinking, where she can just sit in a chair and it's close to her home. As one mysteriously specialized, surreal, even supernatural gig gives way to another, writing trivia for an absurdly competitive cracker company, punching tickets for a purportedly haunted park, it becomes increasingly clear that our heroine is not searching for the easiest job at all, but something altogether more meaningful. So this is a look at the late capitalist life through the unique and fascinating lens of modern Japanese culture. This sounds so fun. I might be reading this during April as well. We'll see. This sounds really, really fun and very up my alley, especially with the surrealist. I just finished like a few months ago Life for Sale by Yukio Mishima, and that kind of feels in tandem with this, not only just because it is like a Japanese translated book, but it is about these like odd jobs, quirky scenarios just kind of like happening one after the other. So it's kind of like a little odyssey, but this seems maybe more geared towards like millennial, Gen Z. Let's see, it was originally published in 2020. So I feel like I'm gonna really enjoy this one. Hopefully, fingers are crossed. Okay, all the rest of the books were in the $1 section, so these are just like bargain deals. I'm so happy about them. I found Lighthousekeeping by Jeanette Winterson. This beautiful edition, of course, got me because of the pink spine. I have read I think only two Jeanette Wintersons. I read Gut Cemeteries many years ago. That was my first Jeanette Winterson, which I was very, very excited about because I really thought she would be a new favorite author for me of all time, but like I'm just not really clicking with it. Like it seems like this is my ideal author, but it's just, I haven't found my favorite Jeanette Winterson yet. I'm kind of the same way about like Evelyn Waugh. Like I love the writing style and I can appreciate it, but I feel like I should like it more. And maybe I just haven't found my perfect novel by that author yet. Because after that I read Sexing the Cherry, which I didn't click with at all, didn't really like that one. And then I did try and I DNF'd Frankenstein. Mainly because I was listening to it as an audiobook and the narration was not that fabulous. So anyway, I'm still open-minded, obviously. That's why I picked this one up. This sounds so beautiful. The first line in here is so exquisite. My mother called me Silver. I was born part precious metal, part pirate. That's beautiful. This was originally published in 2004. This is about Silver, who is taken in by the timeless Mr. Pugh, keeper of the Cape Wrath Lighthouse. She's motherless and anchorless, and Pugh tells Silver ancient tales of longing and rootlessness, of ties that bind, and of the slippages that occur throughout every life. So it's all about like different stories that we tell ourselves, stories of love, loss, passion, longing, stories of unending journeys that move through places and times, and the bleak finality of the shores of betrayal. Sounds very transient, surreal, magical realism, the ways of Jeanette Winterson, essentially. That will be surprisingly philosophical, I'm sure, as well. Next, oh my gosh, I'm a sucker for the Dover thrift editions. I keep finding beautiful ones and I'm like, girl, you might not actually read that. You're just drawn to the cover so much. But I have not read any Alexander Pushkin yet. So this is a collection of his short stories, The Queen of Spades, and other short stories. So this is just a cutie, teeny. I love the Dover thrift editions. I love how colorful. I'm really excited to read my first Pushkin. I don't know anything about it and I kind of want to keep it that way. It does say it's a cunningly wrought narrative of romance and murder in the haute bourgeoisie of St. Petersburg, which I love. I love that. A few years ago now, I think when maybe my first or second winter or year being on BookTube, I got really into the like Russian ballets and opera houses and learning about the St. Petersburg culture and customs around the ballet. So anytime that's referenced, I get really excited about it. So I'm very eager to get to this. I found Ariel by Sylvia Plath. This is the very well-known collection of her poetry. I have not read any of Sylvia Plath's poetry. Over the years, I've accumulated like her really thick, big collections, and I inevitably always just like donate them because I pick them up while I'm out thrifting and I think it's wonderful. I think I'll get to it and I just don't. And then I feel guilty that I haven't gotten to it and it should just be recirculating out. So I think starting with a smaller edition of poetry would be great. A smaller, more curated collection will be easier for me to kind of like bite into. I'm very excited. I read The Bell Jar many years ago, so it's definitely about time that I get to Ariel. Oh, yo, I'm so excited for this one. I want to show the cover of this. I feel like YouTube is not going to like it, but I found this gorgeous edition of Lysistrata by Aristophanes, and oh, isn't that beautiful? This is such a gorgeous edition. I love this font. I love the hot pink. I've never read this. I'm very excited to get to it. Beautiful edition. Apparently this is a newer translation. That's what I'm picking up context clues on the back here. Sarah Rudin is the translator, but it does look like this edition's from 2003. So again, not really that modern. I guess I'm having a theme with the 2003 books, but yeah, would love to read this. Very excited, very eager to get to it. Then I picked up this beautiful book. Never seen it before, never heard of it. Of Things Gone Astray. This is by Janina Matthewson. This one's definitely a little bit more well-loved, a little banged up, which I don't mind. Love this cover. I think it's beautiful. I'm very curious about this one because it really does seem like a more experimental narrative, which I feel like a lot of these that I picked up are different and unique and experimental in their own way, which is exactly what I look for when I'm getting secondhand books. So I'm just so grateful that Book Off had such a variety of books that I could actually find multiple things that tickled my fancy. This reads, on a seemingly normal morning, a group of people wake to find something important to them missing. The front of their house, their piano keys, their sense of direction, their place of work. Meanwhile, after the unexpected death of his mother, Jake finds himself strangely attracted to other people's lost things. But little does he realize his most valuable possession is slipping away from him. So this is like a modern fable. This was originally published in 2014. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm very excited to get to this one. Very unique. They look like really, really small chapters based on like what a certain person lost. And then it will go back to Jake's narrative for like a few pages and then go to like Delia, Marcus, Robert, Cassie, Delia. So we're just kind of ebbing and flowing out of people's lives as they lose objects or feelings or things. So I really like that. The last book, friends. Can you believe it? We're here already. I picked up my own edition of A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce. This book, maybe I've had like a strangely taciturn relationship with it because it's one that I've had a few editions of throughout my life. I think I borrowed my dad's edition, full-heartedly believing I was gonna read it. I gave it back to him because I felt like I was hoarding it at that point. I think there's an intimidation with this one. I think people who do pick it up tend to really, really like it. And they're like, I wish I got to this sooner. I can't believe it took me that long. And I feel like anytime there's a book that has a little bit of a expectation put upon it, because it is a modern classic, I'm just always a little nervous to read it. So in due time, now I have my own edition. It was $1. This is such a beautiful copy. I think it's just very well loved. Oh, look at that cracked spine. That's beautiful. Yeah, it's an old paper cover too, kind of cardboardy, which I really like. I'll get to this eventually. There's no rush. I own it now, so I can like pick it up. Those are all the books that I got at Book Off. I'm so excited. I love this wide variety. I love that I was able to pick up some books from authors I've never heard of. What a beautiful stack. I love these. This is gorgeous. I'm really excited about every single one in here. And yeah, I'm so glad I was able to go to Book Off. That's amazing. I loved it. I should not go back for a while though, because they have too many good things, but I'll make my way through this pile and then maybe I can revisit it. Thank you so incredibly much for being here, friends. I really hope you had fun. I hope we could explore some fun bookstores together, celebrate buying used things, trying new places. Like, please, secondhand when you can. Secondhand when you can. I feel like I want that on a t-shirt. Maybe I should make some merch. If you want to leave a comment but you don't know what to say, please feel free to let us know. What's been the best book that you've found while thrifting? Or best item? What's your favorite thing that you have thrifted? If you don't want to be perceived in that way, please feel free to leave us some emojis that kind of represent your favorite thing that you thrifted recently or ever in the history of your life. We love thrifting. We love finding all of the weird, kooky, quirky, magical, wacko things you can find sometimes. That's the joy of it. It's a treasure hunt every single time, and I really hit gold. I really got the gems. So thank you so incredibly much for being here, friends. I can't wait to see you all again very soon for my next video. Until then, stay cozy, my friends. Bye!